friends, it's Kathy, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's in the Cards Divination. Today we're going to do a pick-a-pile reading and answering the question, your next significant relationship. Who is coming your way? Who will be of significance? Who's coming next in your life? So, as you can see, we have 3 piles of tarot cards and cards and divination tools to try to figure this out for you today. So, for those of you who are not familiar with pick-a-pile readings, you can pause the video when you're ready, look at all 3 piles, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and decide which one you would like more information and you want to see the cards on in a reading. Then you go down into the description box below, and the timestamp will be there for pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. You can look at one pile, you can look at all 3 if you choose. If one doesn't resonate, have a look at the next one and the next one after that if you prefer. If none of them resonate, let it go. There'll be another reading in the future. So we're going to do something a little different. These are my rune stones. And rune is it's very old divination system. It comes from the Norse, Norse, the Norse world. They would have used these to cast spells. They would shake them and throw them down, and their symbols on each of these mean something based on meanings that they've ascribed to these symbols. So it's a language, in other words. And you can just sort of see, I'll show you, there are little, let me see if I can get a better focus for you. These ones aren't so good because they're harder to see, but there's little symbols in yellow or gold on these stones. Let me see if I can show you another one. There we go. Let's see. Sorry, there's a glare there. This one is, let's see here. There we are. Let me go like this. Sorry, I apologize for the lighting. Yeah, if you can see, here we go. There we go. You can see there's a little gold symbol, and that symbol means something. It can have multiple meanings on it. So we're going to use those for your choices today. And I am in the process of learning these. Now, in the old days, Norse people would have used whatever they had. There would have been either bones they would have inscribed with these symbols, or there would have been even some kind of stone they would carve the symbol into, and they just shake them like dice and drop them. And depending on the way things fell, is how they were read. So it was an early form of divination, similar to what we use the cards for now. So without further ado, let's go back to our piles. The first pile, and I will struggle to read the correct name for you. Just bear with me. Can you see that little? It's called I ways. I ways or I was. So forgive my pronunciation. It means, amongst other things, balance and enlightenment, the symbol. Okay, that's pile 1. Pile 2. You can see that little symbol there. Hang on, I'll just cut out that glare. Oops, sorry about that. Like so. Yeah, let's go in there. There we go. That is pronounced Tinoz. And like I say, my pronunciation could be way off. Tinoz. And this one means vision or inspiration. And again, there's many other multiple meanings, just as in tarot and all the other divination means something. So that's the cards. That's 2. Finally, pile 3 Again, I will try to, oh, maybe we can get it. Because this one looks like a bird's foot, doesn't it? This one is called algaes. Algaes. At least that's how it's pronounced. And it's about protection and defense. Okay. So those are the three runes we're going to work with today. The rest we will set aside for another day. So go and pause this video. You have a feeling as to which rune is calling your name. And let's see which significant relationship is coming into your life next. All right. And I look forward to it, and we're going to see you in your reading. Hi, pile number one. If you chose the rune I was, let's see, I was, then this is your reading. Okay, so I have already pulled from our tarot for this reading, and let's get started. Who is the next significant person, relationship that's coming into your life? I'm already getting some information, and I feel it's most likely a male person for most of you. All right, and the first card is going to show us in what area of your life are they supposed to be helping you, okay? And learning, like what, or not learning necessarily, what area of your life will they come into? Is it your love life, your work life, your friends, family? Let's just have a quick peek and see where they fit in, okay? So the first card I pulled is the Judgment card, but in the upright position. So right away, this tells me the person coming into your life at this time is going to be significant for most of you in that the Judgment card represents a type of situation where it's almost like a call to get going and do something and it's also a representative of someone who is going to have significant bearing over all different areas of your life. So it's an important card. It does not exactly fit into all the slots. What they will do by coming into your life is they're going to be able to teach you or help you. That's going to affect all different areas, okay? Whether it's work, your love life, your friendships, it's going to help in that regard. Now, when I say help, in some cases, even a negative situation can be, well, it is. It's meant to help us. It's meant for us to learn from. But because this is a major arcana, I knew that this was going to be an important person in your life that could really help you in a lot of different areas, okay? So let's see what else can we find out they're going to be doing for you. And now I see the Hierophant in the reverse position. And we have the Knight of Wands in the upright. So right away, I see this person as there's things you need to learn here. Like, I mean, we all have things to learn, but in this case, when the Hierophant is in the reverse position, they are wanting you to pay attention to what they have to teach you. Okay. The Hierophant often in the Rider Waite decks, there's usually two, we call them supplicants, that are at the bottom here. And so when I see it in reverse, because for me, when he's upright, he's the leader, he's the one teaching, he is the powerful figure. But when he's in the reverse, it's more like you're the one who is learning from him. Okay, you're the supplicant, in other words. And what you need to learn from this person mostly, because I feel that this is around, it's very possible that this individual in your life could be mainly manifesting through work or through your career or education in that area, but it could just be a friend. But regardless, they want you to try to have new and exciting ideas, get out there, put yourself out, have some fun in life. It's not all about work, 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 and it's not all about play, play, play. There needs to be a good balance here. So let's delve in a little more. And I'm going to pull these three cards as to maybe how you can identify this person, other than the fact that it's a male figure, I believe. All right. Could be someone in your own home that you live with currently, or in your family. Could even be your partner, your spouse, romantic, but it's generally somebody you live with, or for some of you, person that I'm referring to seems to be well-rounded. They're very grounded in their life. They have a good home life. They're content. So even if it is your partner or your romantic family or your romantic spouse, then or boyfriend, this or girlfriend, sorry, this person is happy in their life, in their home life. They seem to have it all, okay, in their home life. They've got the two kids and the car and the nice home and all that good stuff. Let's see here. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles in the upright. They are also someone who works really hard in their job. They're very focused. They know exactly what they want and they're willing to go after it. And they will spend a lot of time even working late hours, overtime and they don't stop until they grasp what they want to learn. So they focus so intently. And it's not just even in work, it can be in any aspect of their life. If they are trying to learn something, there's somebody that will research it to death until they've figured out how to do it. They also prefer to be someone who works at it so much that they're actually very good at what they do. They're the master of what they do, okay? So it definitely is somebody in that regard. Now we have Sun in the reverse, which seems to contradict this person. Because if you look at these cards, it looks like they have it all, okay? But what is going on? I'm just sensing this now. They seem to have it all. They have the home life, they have the good work, the job, the everything. They're good at what they do, but there's still an issue. What I'm sensing is that potentially it has to do with this is causing them problems in their life. They maybe are too focused on what they want and it's a negative. It causes problems in themselves, not the home life, okay? They don't feel like they're good enough. They're always striving to do better, okay? It creates this level of pessimism in their character. It's like when you might be good at something, but it doesn't matter how many times people tell you, you still think you're not good enough. You don't have it's it's almost that A-type personality. They just have to have everything exactly the way it should be. And if one little thing isn't quite right, then it's a failure. Okay. So this person has come into your life or is already in your life, but they're a very important learning lesson for you. Okay. You are the one learning the lesson. And you know what it is too? It's to be a little more um, not so serious all the time. Don't take life too seriously. Don't take everything they say seriously, for one thing. You need to lighten up. That's the feeling. They're teaching you to be more um, fun-loving and to not, in other words, don't be like them. They might have it all. They have the good job, they have money, they have a good home life, maybe they have the nice home and the car and everything else. There's still this deep-seated feeling something is missing in their life. Okay. And then what happens? It's now mirrored back to you. Okay. And you start questioning yourself as far as, do I have enough in my life? And it looks like this person's going to be in your life for quite a while, most likely for most of you, because it's a major arcana card that they could be around a while. And as I say, they're meant to teach you also new ideas, new ways of looking at things. Maybe you're somebody who's very much like this, where you only see things one direction. And this is about stepping outside of your box and looking at life in a different way and being more lighthearted and more easygoing and just overall having more fun. Okay. Don't take life so seriously. So I don't know if this helps you recognize. It doesn't have to be someone who you work with. That's just for some of you. It could be somebody you're already very close to in your life, a friend, a spouse, a partner, but it's definitely an important relationship to you. Okay. So I'm going to leave this to you. And the only advice I can give you about this situation, I'm going to pull one oracle card about this situation. Let us see, is, let's see here. It's called intuitive nudges. Sorry, I put it in the frame here. Intuitive nudges. So this particular situation is there's going to be times when you're going to receive this information in your gut where you're going to know that what this reading said is telling you about this, about lightening up, about enjoying life, being less serious. Don't take yourself so seriously and put yourself out there to be a little more, well, don't want to say reckless. That would be the wrong word. I would say more adventurous, less stringent, less, everything has to be pre-planned to the nth degree. Everything has to be. You need to learn that that's not a good way to necessarily live your life. I mean, it's okay to have these structures, but you can't be too rigid. Okay. This person wants to teach you, and usually how they teach you is by exhibiting those behaviors themselves. It's mirroring back to you. In other words, they may be, yep, everything's got to be this, and this, and all my ducks have to be in a row, and I've got to have the nice house, the nice car, the good job, and but they're still not happy. They're still looking for more. Okay. So what that needs to tell you is now you need to take a deeper look at this life, at yourself, and try to be less like this. And what happens is that sometimes then when you will then become the teacher. You're the student right now. You're learning what you don't want to do or don't want to be like, but then if you behave in the opposite way or learn to maybe release some of that rigidity, it will start flowing, mirroring back to this individual. And as I said, I feel very strongly that it's a male energy here. So, my dear friends, I'm going to leave that with you. I hope that made some sense to you and resonated in some way. And if it didn't, you can pick another pile or wait for another video. All right, my dears, and pile one, I will see you in my next video. Bye for now. Hi, pile number two. If you chose the rune Kinos, let's see if we can get a good. It's hard to see, I know. I apologize. It's not very clear, is it? Okay. If you chose the Kinos rune, then this is your reading about your next significant relationship in your life. Okay. First off, this time I believe I'm getting the feeling the energies that's coming forward is a woman. So right away we have a female energy and potentially even a mother figure. Could even be a mother. Obviously, if it is your mother, she's already in your life. But at this point in time, it's significant. Okay. So if it isn't your mother, there's definitely a female presence coming into your life or is already in your life that will be very significant and lesson learning for you. Okay, let's get started. The first card I drew was the Empress. And that explains the mother figure. This tells me the person who's coming in. And then we have the Emperor in the reverse position, which is interesting that the couple are side by side. This does not tell me it's a couple that are coming into your life. This tells me the way they are behaving or the lesson that you need to learn. Okay. And then we have the Seven of Cups, and this tells me also about their personality. So you might be able to recognize who this person is in their life. We also have Queen of Swords in the reverse, and I asked the Seven of was in the reverse as well. We have the Page of Swords. Again, this is about their character. And finally, we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position. Wow, quite a description. First of all, let me start off by saying this could be a tough lesson for you. This person could wreak havoc, cause trouble in your life. And as I've mentioned before, yes, even the difficult people are meant to be there and they're significant in our lives. We don't understand the significance when we're going through it, except usually it is, of course, very stressful, difficult, and don't want any part of it. And that is some part of the lesson too. When we have someone in our life who is causing us problems and upsets and hurts, sometimes the lesson is about distancing ourselves from them physically or just mentally and emotionally, or it's also about putting up boundaries from them and setting boundaries with them. Okay? So let's get started and try to figure out who is this next significant person relationship in your life. Well, first of all, I can tell you she is very critical. Critical, and I mean to the nth degree. Like we're talking, she has a very cutting tongue, very hurtful to you. She can say some very nasty things, and she's not afraid to say them. Okay. And she also appears, because she appears, there's three court cards here she appears as, which is interesting. She's also somebody who's really not good with her finances. She's not very reliable. You can't trust her. She has no stick-to-itiveness when it comes to any situation. So you find yourself not being able to trust them necessarily. They have had many opportunities in life, and they did make some bad choices, okay, in their life because it's in the reverse position. So this person is not exactly a very good role model to you, okay? And especially if they're a mother figure or you feel like they've had that sort of presence in your life, sometimes it can be a relative, a female relative, aunts, even cousins, or even or a real mother, or even a grandmother type. But it can also be a friend who comes across feeling like a mother figure. Okay, this person is not stable. They present as the emperor in that they're stubborn, they won't listen to reason, they can be egotistical, and it's their way or no way. Okay, so that's what the lessons here are about. You can't allow, this is a boundary That's what they're teaching you in your life, and potentially even separation from it. You do not want yourself to end up behaving as they do. Don't allow yourself, because it feels very much for a lot of you that this person would be obviously the stronger personality. And what happens a lot of times is you end up coming a lot like them. They mirror it to you, and you exhibit the same patterns and behaviors that they do. Like, I hate to say it, but there's not a lot of positive information about this person. This woman is coming across as not somebody I would even want to hang around with or be close to, that's for sure. This person has been through potentially a lot of trials and tribulations in their life because of the way the court cards are presenting. They just, it looks like they've had opportunity in their life, but they didn't take the right choices. They made the wrong choices. And what has happened is it's created bitterness, resentfulness. It's created all this negative energy with the way these court cards are presenting. So this person is teaching you to put up your boundaries with them. Don't allow them to treat you the way that they are presenting, and they are nasty. And sometimes the only way we can do it is by um, cutting out or limiting our time we spend with them. It doesn't mean you have to cut them completely out of your life. That's up to you. But because they come across so negatively in this reading, I'm not seeing exactly where the benefit is to associate, with the exception that your guides are telling you that you need to learn this lesson about boundaries and not letting people treat you this way. I actually have compassion for this person, and I know that may sound hard for some of you if you are currently being hurt by someone that sounds like this. But often when people who are like this have really had a difficult life, and they've become resentful, as I mentioned, and angry. And you have to have certain amount of compassion without allowing them to manipulate you and make you become what they are. Okay. There's also a feeling that they could very well be very immature about how they find out information about you. Like, you've got to be a little bit careful. They could be very prone to gossip, prone to trying to find out negative things about you to use against you. This is definitely what this card is telling me, especially between these two. Um, this person is, as they say, it's very, very sad to see someone with all these negative traits going on. And they're not 100% bad person, because nobody is. We all have the divine in all of us. It's just their circumstances have made them who they are. But as I say, that doesn't mean you need to allow them to do it to you. You are as worthy of love as they are. Sometimes we just can't allow that person in our life, or at the very least, limited interaction. Okay. So you need to be strong in your convictions about this. Be strong and stable and put your foot down. And this just has to be a no-brainer. It seems that this person is really going to try to hurt you. And I don't like to say that too much. They already probably are. Okay. The other aspect of this reading is because if this is a major arcana card, the Empress, this is somebody who's meant to have a very important role in your life and may be there for a while in your life. Like, they could be an ongoing part of your life, is what I'm trying to say, whether it is a mother figure or someone who has acted like a mother to you. This means that this is an important lesson to you, very important, okay? And in fact, I think for most of you, this person's already in your life. It's just maybe at this time it's going to get worse, or you're going to see them more or come into more contact with them coming up. So you need to be on the lookout for that. Put up your walls. And that doesn't mean you have to be hurtful and cruel like they are. Don't allow yourself to become like them. You need to be firm. You need to be, hopefully, as non emotional as you can be, because when emotions get into it, they seem to thrive on that. They want to get a rise out of you. They want to constantly be hurting. It makes them feel better about themselves. I know that's a terrible way to be, but there are unfortunately a lot of people in this world that live like that. It's very sad. I can only imagine what their early years or childhood must have been like to create that type of living. It's horrible. And I send out love and compassion to this poor person. They need it. Okay, pile number two. I hope that this resonates for you, and don't allow this person to get into your life the way they want to. They would love to be an important part, but you need to put up the boundaries. All right. Okay, pile number two. Not a very positive reading, but nonetheless an important lesson for you. And I send this out, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now. Hi, pile number three. If you chose the algaes rune, then this is your reading. Here, I'll come a little closer. There we go. All right, let's get started on this. So, your next significant relationship coming up, you might already be in it. If you aren't, it's happening soon. I feel, first of all, this is most likely a male energy, this person that's coming into your life. All right, let's see what we get here. The Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. So right away, that tells me it's either someone at your workplace, career, job, and someone if you're a student and you're studying, okay? It doesn't appear to be a romantic situation or a friendship. It appears to be more job related, career related, work related, okay? And what you're supposed to learn from them is the Queen of Wands in the reverse position. So let's deal with that first. This person doesn't want to see you succeed or go further in this career. You have the potential for management position or leadership in some way. And this is somebody that could be coming in, either it's your boss or somebody over you or a teacher or a professor, but it's somebody in a higher position, I feel, and they've slotted you into a cubby hole of your job, and that's where they want you to stay. They don't want to see you advance in your career. This is what it's really appearing. Or in your studies. It's like they're jealous of you. I know it's a terrible thing, but they feel threatened by you somehow because you are capable of doing that. You're a hard worker, you're studious, pardon me, you do well. And so you are capable of doing that type of a position or job for most of you, or succeeding in your studies and in your work situation. They don't want you to move ahead. So what they're teaching you is don't listen to them. That's what the way they're behaving, okay? You are capable. You have to set the boundaries. Again, these boundaries are so important. I can't even stress it enough. Let's see what characteristics of this person that makes them so jealous and so threatened by you. Okay. And it is a male energy. Okay, there's Five of Wands, There is Seven of Wands in the reverse position. Okay. And then we have the Sun. Ooh, in reverse. My goodness. And the last card I pulled is the Star, which is in the right position, obviously. So, okay, what I'm getting right away is this person could be very competitive. Someone who has to be the best, has to always be right. They have to always come up on top. They could even be very argumentative. There's those people that you say black, they say white. They want to be right all the time, and you can't, there's no dealing with them because no matter what you say, they're going to try to argue with you. There's some people that just enjoy that. They seem to really think that that's the way they need to live their life, okay? But at heart, they're actually a coward. So there is a sense of a bully situation going on here because if you actually confronted them, they would back down. I feel like they would lose their fight. Okay. So this is telling me they're actually somebody, when they're brought to task, in other words, they're confronted, the light is shone upon them for their misdeeds and the things they're saying and the things they're doing, they will back down. Okay. So that's one way of dealing with that person. The only positive thing is the Star card, which shows me it's not without hope in this situation. Okay. It's how you deal with them could improve the situation. You need to fight for what you want and what you believe. If you truly believe you are capable of this, and you should, judging by the cards, then don't allow them to be the ones to tell you otherwise. I mean, just because they're in a position over you in some way, whether it's teacher, professor, mentor, boss, owner of a company, whatever, just because they are doesn't mean they know everything. Okay, that's been easily proven. You have the ability to go places in this situation, whether it's getting a degree and excelling, it's also, or whether it is also getting advancements in your job and doing well. There is an ability there to go further. Don't allow that to happen. So, what you need to do is you need to find some common ground where the two of you, what you can agree on. Okay. And it also, I hate to tell people to appeal to their ego because to me, that's false. I wouldn't want you to do that. But there has to be something they are positive about, something that is their, what they really love, what they really enjoy, what they really makes them happy. There has to be a grain of that somewhere in this. Perhaps you can then show some common ground together instead of, in other words, it's like a blending of two different situations. You have to try to make it work. Okay. And the only way, when I say common ground, I mean that it could just be as simple as maybe there's a hobby that they enjoy or something that you enjoy and you're able to talk about, and it maybe puts you in a different light to them, and you're not so threatening anymore. See, it's their insecurity, of course, that is their threat, not you. They're projecting it onto you in whatever way, shape. They don't feel good enough about themselves in some way. And often, if it's somebody in a position of power, and this happens all the time, they will bully people. They will browbeat them. They will say things. They will try to get you to believe what they're conveying. Okay. So if they're conveying to you, oh no, you don't want to look at that promotion or that new job. No, you're good at what you're doing now. You don't need to do that. Or field of study, you know what, that's as far as you should be going. I don't think you would enjoy doing this type of studies or work or degree. Don't allow them to do that. Okay. So this lesson, I don't believe is a permanent situation. When I say that, I mean, I don't believe they're going to be in your life for a long period of time. They're just there to teach you to not allow them. Be be confident. Be like you know your worth. You know you can do a good job. You know you can do this. Don't allow them to talk you out of it. If it's something you really believe strongly, okay? And as I say, there is hope potentially down the road that things could improve in this situation. But it does start off in a very negative way, and this person needs to be confronted about their behavior. Okay. So don't allow them to do this constant energy of constantly nattering and nothing you can do is good enough and nothing you feel that's how you feel. It doesn't mean it is. It's just that's how they make you feel. There's also this sense, as I say, that they will definitely back down if you're able to confront them. Don't be afraid to voice your concern, and you can do it in a very calm and diplomatic way. The emotion, they thrive on getting people's backup. It's almost exciting to them. It's kind of weird. It's that whole bullying thing. They get off on it. It's like they enjoy the argument. They enjoy the challenge of getting people upset. Oh, I know. I can't even imagine. So don't allow that to happen. In other words, you need to be calm and show that it does not affect you. You need to show them. And you also need to stand up. As I say, don't allow them to walk all over you. Okay. It's unfortunate this person, I know these negative situations, they do, when they come into our life, we think, why do we have to have this? It's important. These lessons are always important. It's part of building our growth, our character. It makes us who we are. It is supposed to help improve our situation. And it will if you act in the appropriate way. Okay? So, my dear pal number three, although it appears to be someone you may have difficulties with, or will have difficulties, or are having difficulties, there appears to be some light at the end of the tunnel for this situation. And as I say, I don't really feel that this challenging situation will last forever, but it's dependent on how you deal with the situation going forward, okay? So, pile number three, I will leave this with you, and I look forward to if you want to send me any comments, or if, and I'm hopeful this resonates in some way for you, and I will leave this with you. I apologize. My camera just took a dive. All right, there we go. So I will leave this with you and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.